Hi, this is Arun from arunsyoga.in. I'm a software engineer who mostly work with Node.js, PHP, and other backend technologies. And I'm an open source contributor as well. I'm a tantric by birth in a family which is passing tantric wisdom from generations to generations from past 2000 years of legacy, and got lucky to travel across India and got chances to study under various gurus from different backgrounds and disciplines. You could connect with me in arunsyoga.in. Here I'm helping you to design a divine lifestyle which is based on Vedic astrology, tantra, and other yogic system of understanding. Hello and welcome to our next episode on Vedic reading series. Today we are having a special guest. Her name is Candice. Candice supports people in self-love, a liberated experience of humanity, harmony, intuition, alignment, and self-expression with spiritually compassionate, dharma sensitive approaches and intuitive collaboration. She offers tools and space for navigating the unknown and healing multidimensionally. She holds an experiential space for you to calibrate your body to your natural energetic signature and source. Enjoying a life of beauty, pleasure, joy, trust, and co creation with the mystery of life. She loves beauty, horses, dancing, singing, and adventuring in the world. And at this particular episode, we are going through her offering, such as thermal removal, past life regression therapy, and her chart as well. As the cherry on cake, she is reading my past life in at this particular episode. However, welcome to our Vedic reading series, episode number 23, looking into the past life with Candice.
Great.
So here we have a special guest. She is into psychology and do a lot of things related to mystical experiences and stuffs like that. And we are gonna read her chart also, and let's see what she got to talk to us about. Why she's into this particular thing, why she's interested into psychology and mystical experiences and stuffs like that. And uh, can you talk about that, like can you talk a little bit about you first, little then
Sure. Yeah, my name's Candice Wu, and thanks for having me. Uh, you'll probably see it in my chart why I'm interested in the mystical and spiritual, and interested in how the universe works and how we exist, or how we create, how we experience this experience, and what is our empowerment in it. I always felt interested in understanding where my power was, like where is the power, where does it lie, and how do I work with it. But what really opened my whole experience was working with my body in conjunction, just as like one cohesive whole with the spiritual. And so now I do a lot of embodiment work, trauma work, with personal trauma in a somatic way, like with the body, with your experience, but also to help people feel like themselves. Mainly, that's the thing, to feel like themselves and love themselves. And if there are trauma pieces that are kind of getting caught in their experience and lived out again, or they're not feeling like they love themselves, they're maybe critical, or feeling like they're unworthy. I work with that from a whole body and energy experience. And then I also work with past lives and the ancestry, and how that may be held in your energetic system. So some of the modalities I work with are, I don't use just one, I combine many. into the way that I work. But yoga and Ayurveda has been part of my work. Um, Reiki, somatic experiencing, family constellations, and then yeah, I did have that study in clinical psychology too.
So how do you help people to get embodied into their own body? How do you make them to feel better in their body?
Well, I basically guide them and teach them tools like right when we're working together, we'll work on them together to support their body in feeling more resourced, to support their nervous system, and to help them understand what's going on in their body as they feel it so that they can know what to do to help themselves either feel better and feel pleasure or feel safe, or to move through an experience that's uncomfortable and to navigate it in a safe way. By safe I mean in a way that their body can digest it and not just overwhelm them into a trauma response, but to move through it with some ease. So some of those ways might be like tuning into how their body feels the most safe. But a lot of the tools I use are really basic, like you know how animals, cats and dogs especially, and they come in the house and they like sniff around and they check everything out. They make sure that this place is safe or that person feels safe to them before they approach. We skip that step all the time, and we're not really aware of our surroundings in that kind of like um, very connected way. In many cases, horses can feel like the vibration through the ground, and they know when somebody's coming from like I don't know how far, maybe half a mile. I'm not sure, probably farther, but they have their ears as well, but they can feel, and they're so connected in that they're aware of that. But we're often not there. We're very much in our heads in a lot of cases, and um, wounds and trauma and different beliefs cause us to be there. So just helping people to look around their space and look at something pleasant, and even to try to flex that muscle of looking at something pleasant versus noticing all the problems and then noticing how it feels in your body. That's just like one of the tiny basic tools, but I just introduce many of those based on what their body is, the story their body is telling me, and help them navigate it so that then they're suddenly like, "Oh, I feel calmer. I'm more here." And then we do some more work with wherever they want to go.
Um, so see, the case of cats and dogs, they are actually feel more safe, and they are more into the presence. Like they are feeling they are here. Basically, they are in planet Earth, But sometimes human beings are not there. Like they are like somewhere else. So,
Exactly.
what do you see that? What is that causing them to be somewhere else? Like.
It can be a bunch of different reasons. You know, it could be this experience of I'm from another dimension or star system, and I left my family there, and maybe that's not really present in their awareness, but it could be. And there's that feeling of wanting to be somewhere else. Um, it could be just in this lived experience that they've had some really hard, scary experiences that are still living in their nervous system, their body. And when they don't get complete or integrated in a way that their body feels safe again, because we still have this human body, no matter how spiritual we are, we still have to work with that. That if their body isn't feeling safe, then um, they may be in a state of overwhelm or a frozen state where their body kind of shuts down, and you're energetically just conserving energy, but out of your body, so to say. Um, so a lot of times when I see that, it's that someone is feeling in their body, their nervous system is um, pretty overwhelmed, and fight and flight and freeze. So if the body's in a sympathetic response of fight and flight, like you're active, you're moving, you're trying to protect yourself, essentially, right? At the most primal state. But a lot of times we don't do the things that our body wanted to do. Like you probably wouldn't scream at your boss because that would be more dangerous for a number of reasons, or punch your boss or something. And so you hold that energy back, even though you feel angry about something that happened, maybe. And when that slowly builds, and think of it, in our childhoods, if that builds, and then all through your life, then we have all this tension. And if it gets to a certain level, accumulates so much, the body says, no, too much, does not compute. It's just better if I like freeze up and shut down. And that's that playing dead state that animals will use to survive and protect themselves. But they come out of it when the predator is gone, and we tend to stay there, and then we get depressed, and we're kind of not in ourselves, or we get really anxious and very much in our head and thinking a lot and navigating our experience just through our mind and our analyzing, which is also protective in a lot of ways, like a protective state.
So when you work with the body, what you exactly do with the body, like what and all the treatment do you provide them to feel connected to the existence?
Great question. Yeah. So I mentioned just like getting in touch with feeling into your body. So that's where we start. But it depends what a person, or I also work with couples, what they want. Let's say they're saying, I'm constantly getting angry at my mother and my boyfriend, and I can't stop screaming at them. um, and it's ruining my relationship. So we may start to work with, okay, what does it feel like when you get angry? Or we may start to work with, go back to where before you get angry and notice calm state. And we might reinforce a different state of being, and then slowly watch as you get closer to the thing that triggered you or got you really mad. And let's start to notice right when something happens in your body. Oh, there's tension right here. Okay, stop, pause there, just notice that tension. And then that might evolve into something else. And maybe then, I'm going like this. And so when I said, look at the story of the body, if the body is doing something, when we gesture, when suddenly you're telling this part of the story and you say, I was just so mad, I'll use those innate movements and gestures and sensation to help the person get connected with what's already happening, what the body wants to happen. And it takes getting out of our mind a little bit and saying, okay, whoa, what happens right here when you slow this down and just feel what just this your muscles tensing up here, let it happen. And then eventually the person says, wow, I really feel heated, or wow, I actually really want to punch someone. And so we do that. I don't have them punch someone, but if I'm in person, I might give them resistance and do it slow motion, or I teach them ways to do it like against their wall. This is just one example, but this is one way we look at like what the
Have
story
you
of the
ever
body
got
is.
punched actually, like?
When someone was like, okay, you want me to punch? And they were like, they pushed real hard. And I was like, whoa. Like, slow this down. But no, I've never gotten punched. More just like pushed a little. Yeah, but I know it's so funny, right? And bringing humor is great to it, because it's part of what like helps us feel safe, like realize that we are safe when we're able to laugh and nothing bad's happening. But this is just somatic experiencing more so that I'm describing, like how to be in your body. But then we may work with like the ancestry or a memory that comes in, like, well, I had this bad experience with my father or with so and so. And we may work through that in different ways, not by reliving it, but by bringing what's needed and what's incomplete. So it gets renegotiated and integrated in the body a different way. And then people usually start to feel calmer, safer, more open, less tense, and even some physical illnesses go away, or ways of being. And then sometimes I connect that, help them connect that with their beliefs. Like, oh, there's a belief that you're unlovable that's connected with this experience. And so we clear that with some forgiveness of that belief. But if we work with like ancestry or different memories in the more family constellation style, I might have someone stand up and place different objects in their space and move around. The objects representing maybe the people in their family system or in their past life. And without thinking about like the dynamics, having them step into it and just see and feel and getting in touch with what the energy of it's showing can reveal a lot of things as far as like where maybe a deeper context of trauma was, if it's generational coming down the line, or if they're connected with something that was really painful in the past or in some other experience.
So you're speaking about the past life, basically. Like
Mm,
I do believe in past life. Like we are
yeah.
the form of energy, and we will go from one life to another. So how do you identify what was the past life of a particular person? What is that involved in your?
No, yeah, for me, and I would be curious how you identify that too. For me, I just have, I, for lack of a better word, an intuitive sense or information that comes to me. And the information comes in a bit of a sensation, a feeling of like an energy. I don't see things like some people do, and I don't necessarily hear like words in my head. I just sense it, and then some words will come to me about it. So,
So can you sense my past life here?
I don't know. I mean, you've probably had hundreds. I so it would be, I feel like it comes to me when it's relevant to something that is important for you now. So if you were to say, you know, I'm having this particular experience, and is there something of a past life, or can you help me look at where that's coming from? Some Sometimes I may sense, yes, it feels like past life, or I may help you, if you were my client, to feel whether that is the case or not. That's where I really like to be, because then I can support the client in building their own gifts to sense what's there, and I can help by seeing from my side what I feel and see. So I'm not like a psychic medium where I just spew information and get a lot of information just like, sometimes I do, but it's not always on command. It's like we've got to be working on something, or there's got to be a relevant reason for the ask of that usually.
No, but can you make a best possible guess what could be my past life?
Okay. Okay, you want to see, okay, will you feel in with me? Is there any other, do you want to know like a past life that's relevant to you now, or do you just want to know any past life or the one before this? Is that what you're asking?
Uh, I know that I had past lives like hundreds or many past life I have like, but that past life, whatever I had previously, will make an impression on me, like the place which I got birth into, and the way I am connecting to the people, and the way I am doing something in this particular life. And
Mm.
can you see something which is connected to this particular life? Um, that do something here now. I mean,
Yeah.
some clue, whatever, like,
Any clue for you of
yeah,
anything relevant to your life now?
yeah.
Are you aware of any of your past lives?
Mm, if I go deep, I mean, I had some vision basically.
You had a vision. Okay. Okay. Let me just feel for a second. Hmm. Okay. So what I'm getting is an image of you as a boy in a past life. And it was like a fading image of mother, but it seemed like you were wandering. You were like um, not a teenager, but a little bit younger, like middle school age, and kind of wandering around, like almost like an orphan, maybe an orphan. Father was not in the picture. And it was like the feeling of I'm looking for my home, I'm looking for my family, but at the same time, knowing that you weren't feeling like you weren't going to find them. You didn't, you had food. People gave you food, is what I'm seeing. I'm just going to go to the end of that life if I can get there, or if it comes. Well, you lived a very long life. You're a man, you're an old man. You didn't find your family, but you had some happiness. You feel very like gentle in that life. Mm. And sometimes I ask for like a significant moment in that life, that lifetime, besides what I already said, or anything else. It felt like the energy of community. It's like you're like searching and searching for your family and belonging, and at the same time you did experience community and different gifts of the way community could be had, like giving and people offering and reaching out to you and you doing the same in that life. It felt like earlier on, like when you were a kid, you had some more violent experiences, like maybe you had experienced some violence, but then later it softened up, like you didn't have more later, like it was much more steady kind of life. That's what I got.
So does that has any implication in this life?
uh,
Any significance?
you'll have to see how this fits, but what I got was the question the question of where do I belong, maybe on a deeper level.
What was that?
The question of where
Mhm.
do I belong at a deeper level, like this deeper existential question, where do I belong? um, Feels like you may have a very strong family life or some connection, strong connection to your family here in this lifetime and this life. And there's still that underlying feeling of like, where do I really belong? Or like, what is my sense of belonging at home? What is my true sense of that? Does any of it resonate for you?
Yeah,
And
of
I
course.
always
That's,
ask,
yeah,
the person, I might get information, but it might not be relevant, right, or what's needed now. So yeah, you say yeah.
yeah, it's resonating. Like, so I see the life as a deep question, basically. Like, where do I belong? Just tell it's there. Where do I belong?
Yeah, it's a big question. It's a big question, and yeah, it feels like that. If we're talking about that past life to this one, there's that direct thread because you had a very strong experience of feeling like you did not belong, or like you didn't have a belonging, and it like may have carried through a bit to this one, even though it seemed like in that life you felt some sense of belonging, but there was still maybe a wound there. Or I guess if we're going to get really down to it, and maybe you think this way or sense things this way, but maybe there's a belief I don't belong. That's the seed of the energy, the experiences. Maybe wanting to experience that or wanting to explore, do I belong here?
So there is something called past life regression therapy. You do that as well, like.
I I don't say I do that, but if someone says I want to explore my past lives and they seem to come with like an earnest heart about that, they're not just like, well, I just want to see how many I can find and, show off or something. If it's like really truly something they feel they want and need, I usually can work with them and do what is similar to maybe what other people do with past life regression. Um, I normally don't just like, I do a little bit of Akashic reading too. So I have that plug into that energy. But what I really like and prefer to do is invite the client or person to develop that skill. And a lot of times when I walk them through it, first by just getting a little bit in tune with their body and then helping them to move through and sense it for themselves. A lot of times they get the information and they're like, whoa, like I can't believe I got that. So I guess a lot of past life regression therapists, they will tend to do that too. They want the person to receive the information for themselves, not to like, I think, not to read it for them necessarily. So I guess you could say I do that, and in different ways.
So when did you start to do this thing? Like, when you started to receive the signals or whatsoever, like, what happened? What was that? When it's all begin?
Well, working with my own healer, sometimes she would say, I'm getting a feeling about something. Do you feel like this is connected with your past life when I'm working with something, right? And I'll ask myself and feel it. And then I'll get this like, yes. And then I'll start crying. And she's like, yes, okay. So we know it's from a past life. Whereas, or at least where the strongest energy of it seems collected, because a lot of times that past life stuff will trickle into this life, of course, right? But, excuse me, when it seems like I feel like I pinpointed for that moment the energy, it came to me, I heard it, I felt it, then my body will have an emotional response. And for me, a lot of times that's how it came to me. Like I would have some feeling about something, or I'd ask, is this from my past life? And I'd get a clear yes. And then if I followed that feeling or that thought that popped in, and I just let it show me like I'm watching a movie, it would lead me to the next piece. Like, oh, I'm seeing a woman and I'm in this other life and I'm getting strangled or something. And then if I felt into it, it would feel emotional the first time I would receive that life, if it was relevant to my work at the time, to my emotional work. And sometimes I'd pop out and start asking questions and being skeptical. And I would be like, well, was that really the case? Could this really be the case? And and then it just feels kind of flat. But if I dive back in with just my imagery and feeling, my emotions will always confirm it. And if it's flat, then I know it wasn't correct. It's not important for me right now, maybe. And so a lot of times I just let my body show me what's next. And for example, like once I had this elbow pain for like 6 months, it came in real fast. So I knew it was like emotional, spiritual to like trigger it. And then, which I believe almost everything is if it's going to manifest physically, but it was so fast. I was like, whoa, what is it? Lasted for about 6 months. And repeatedly, I worked with that elbow, like feeling into it, talking with it, letting it show me. And eventually, this whole lifetime of being Ojibwe, Indian, Native American here in the United States, and having been like pushed, uh, knocked off my horse and raped by a white man. And I told my horse, like, go get help. And I had been slit by the throat here and I was bleeding and I couldn't talk. So I was psychically talking to my horse. And I said, go get help. And my father came. And when he got there, the whole tribe got there, like men, to help because they knew there was danger. And he grabbed my arm and he just saw that I was like gone. Like I was bleeding. I was still there a little bit, but I held him and I was like, don't let me go. And he was like, I have to. And he just left. And I think I twisted it up because it was so traumatic to be abandonment. But when I look back in that past life now, I see he had to go. He had to protect everyone. And I was dying. It was the right thing. And even though it was hard. So my elbow pain went away. I even had experiences physically, like with the land here. And I felt where I lived when I just happened to take a trip to Ohio and land in a certain place by happenstance. And when I got into this one park, I was like, whoa. And I just saw all the images come to me and the feelings were moving about that very experience. So it's cool how I got to put all the pieces together. And so different experiences like that would just keep coming during a course of a couple of years for me until it feels like now at this point, I've gotten through some of the major relevant ones and it doesn't feel like there's much that seems to be affecting me as much anymore. I started to move out into the multidimensional experience and galactic experience instead of past life. So my progression was interesting. It was like my trauma in this life, it was very orderly. My trauma with my ancestry, or not with them, but like that maybe I inherited and how that wove in, past life, then multi-dimensional and galactic, or whatever else this sort of experiences that maybe I can't even name.
Why are you started to offering this to people? From when?
Oh, from when? Well, I've always I've done embodied work since about 2009, starting with yoga and Ayurveda. And I particularly liked Jnana yoga, Jnana yoga, and Karma yoga, which is like looking, you probably know, but I'll explain it for everyone else like that may not know. Just like the study of self and the study of how, study of action and like the actions you take and where they're coming from in your intentions and your energetic system, just why you do the things you do and how with the results of that, the cause and the effect. So that was where I was really interested, but I would use the body as well together with it. And then eventually I started adding on the other kind of modalities and integrating them into like an orchestra of um, what I do now. So I wanted to know how you receive past life information. You were saying it
See,
sounded like you received it too.
I wrote a book. Okay, this is called Cosmic Engineering and Orgasmic Continuum.
Mm,
Okay, so
that looks yummy.
don't eat.
I'm sorry, I'm getting a lot of sunlight here. Let me just do something and move the curtain. Can you say the name of that again?
Cosmic Engineering and Orgasmic Continuum.
Okay.
So basically, in meditation, we get united with the absolute self or the true self, or that people say that. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
we can.
That.
It's not God actually. Like, it's not in the terms of God. Like, somebody who's sitting in top of the sky, and it's not like that. It's like, it's absolute. So once you are in in if once you collided with that, like once you are in merged with the absolute, you can see your entire past life,
Mm. Mm-hmm.
and it's a great orgasmic experience.
Ooh. Yeah. Wow.
So
Nice.
yeah. So that is how I get. And in astrology, Vedic astrology also, there is clues like um, it's also deals with the past life regression therapy also, in a way, like,
Mm.
what has been happened in past life, based on the planetary position right now in our chart. We could actually calculate what is actually happened in past life. So from that, there is some therapies is being given, some kind of mantras, some kind of massages, like you said, na, like we may get blocks in different parts. It's basically uh, the body which is being getting possessed by the evil spirit. The We couldn't say it's an evil spirit, we can say it's like metaphysical entities. See, the way we see, like we only have five senses. With that only we are actually making sense out of what is happening here, but there are multi
Mm.
dimensions. As we
Mm-hmm.
evolve, like our spiritual growth, as we evolve, we could actually see all these beings, those are living in another dimensions, like it is there in Amitabha Buddhism. Amitabha Buddhism, right?
I don't know that much about it. Oh,
Amitabha.
yeah,
Amitabha.
yeah. I've studied a little bit, but not too much.
It's another. It's a Hinayana Buddhism, basically
Mm-hmm.
Amitabha Buddha. So he speaks
Mm-hmm.
about the different level of existence, different
Mm.
level of getting birth into different dimension. Amitabha Buddha, not the
Mm.
Buddha himself, the second Buddha.
That's right. Okay, yeah. So do you feel like are you tapping into that ability to see in the different dimensions, or where are you now?
Where am I now? I'm in front of computer.
I mean, in your awareness and your consciousness to connect in that way, or to open in that way.
See, I could actually sense many things. Like, I can possibly see through what the person is going to do, what the person has been doing, like that,
Yeah. Oh, cool.
So it's
Yeah.
actually hard also, like you may sometimes go crazy also, like if you can't stay consciously, what is actually, if you can't stay consciously watchful, like you may go crazy, because when we live with the mundane people, like people who are into daily samsara, we can't be like in high, like we have to be in present, like
Mhm.
otherwise we can't relate with the other people, it's problem.
Yeah, right. And then you're not really experiencing the fullness of what your existence is here either if you're not like in your body, which I think is why a piece of why I really got drawn to working with my body because I wanted to feel better. I mean, put
See,
simply, I wanted to feel better.
see, your consciousness, once the consciousness start to expand, it will grow out of body. You will get connected with many things very easily.
Mhm. Mhm.
It's a not unconscious. See, like you spoken about the dogs and cats, those who walks into the room and they can easily sniff around and they can easily connect with other things.
Yeah.
But the unconscious people's also there, they are actually not thinking about that present thing. But the
Mhm.
more consciously you evolve, you will get connected so deeply. So this also seems like you are unconscious, but it is other way around, like you are more connected.
Yeah, I think there can be there can be I mean, we're all in a different place with it, but like you can be in your body and connected, or you
Correct.
can be not in your body and just connected out, or you can be just so in your body and not connected with all that,
Nothing. See,
right?
like it's like that. Like people are not in their body and they are not connected to anything. From
Yeah.
there, from there you will connect to your body. Then from there you will get connect to first the embodiment happen. You appreciate your body. You feel that you are in your body.
Mhm. Mhm.
From there, once the embodiment happen, from there peoples will evolve, like higher dimensions you can access
Yep.
through
Yep. I
yogic
see that
processes.
too. Mm.
So that is called super extasious orgasm.
Oh, that's what they're speaking to. Okay. Yeah. I I believe I experienced that in a lot of ways, and ultimately it's not what I always tell people unless they come in with that angle or they start to open it up or they want to. But ultimately what you're saying is what drove me from the beginning to do this work for myself and with other people, is that there was a, doing the embodiment work provided not just like, even though this is great in itself, that ability to feel good here and enjoy the experience, but also a deeper spiritual connection or a deeper connection with all that is, and the discovery of what it could be for each individual. So I enjoy how you described that.
See, primarily we all can experience the ultimate, the
Yeah.
different dimensions, but it will take a lifetime for many people. Like how good you can access the higher dimensions in this particular lifetime, that will get improved in your next lifetime when you are getting birth as a human beings. If you are going down in your consciousness, what happens is like you will get birth as some other creatures like an elephant or cockroach or whatsoever, like if you are if your consciousness is going down, like there are sannyas, these yogis, they actually leave their body consciously. They can
Yeah.
die consciously,
Yeah,
like
I've always been interested in them. Yeah.
so dying consciously is like
Dying
very, so
consciously.
most of the people when they die they go unconscious.
And it's been so interesting to hear about, I don't know that much, but like when they consciously leave and their body still stays alive, so to say, or functioning. It's like, wow, like some part of the consciousness is still working there. or I
Like,
don't know how you would
see,
describe
that
that.
is also a yogic process. You can leave the body, astral projection. It is like you can leave your
Yeah.
body and get into other body. That is astral projection. You can actually leave your body entirely. Like you can
Hmm.
die yourself. Like for example, you want to die, and you can just die like that. You can just shut down everything, all the functions.
Hmm.
You can just stop all your breathing, all the functions like blood flow, everything will be shut down, and you will die properly, die gracefully.
Gracefully. Mm.
That most of the peoples can't do, and that is how peoples evolve, divine being, becoming divine, more divine, 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 like Buddha. So
Do you feel you can die consciously? Do you feel like you are there?
um how to see?
How would you know? Or what do you mean? How to see?
Like, see, once you are in absolute realization, or once you are in absolute, you know what happens is that uh, um you are not alive actually. Like, we call it as Jivan Mukta. Like in Advaita Vedanta, we call those kind of people are Jivan Mukta. Like, you still have your body, but you are already dead. It's it's different thing.
Why would you say that instead of saying that you never die? That you're not, it's just a different state of being, is it not, or no?
People see dead in the sense, people can't die. You see, nobody will not be able to die
You
actually.
cannot
Like,
die. Yeah. You're
yeah.
just in a different state. You may appear dead to other people. Is that,
What was that?
is it more like you would appear dead to other people?
Yeah, it's like that.
What?
Like, you see, the thing is like you think through the absolute. You think through in your own way. Like, be more selfish thought. Like, do more selfish thought and see what is actually happening. Like, you came out and you are just going. So you don't know where did you begin. If you think yesterday,
Yeah.
day before yesterday, day before yesterday, similar way, you will never see when you are going to the last day. You will not never see
It's
that
infinite.
particular moment. You will never see the moment when you go to sleep. You go to the bed and you fall into the sleep, and you will never show where that particular time when did you fall into sleep. You can never
Right.
understand that particular time. Death also will be like that. You will never understand that particular time. But you are still there. In sleep, you are not dying. You are still there. At that particular moment, you went into another dimension and you are still there.
Mhm. 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 Yeah.
So
Yeah, I
in
can.
Upanishad, we say this is four stages are there. Like, Jagrat. Jagrat is the state where we are right now. We are speaking. This is Jagrat. Then Nidra. Nidra is the state of sleep. Sushupti. Sushupti is the uh, Jagrat. Sushupti. Next stage is Sushupti, like sleep, deep sleep. That is Sushupti. Um, Sopnam. Sopnam is the dreaming state. You start to see the dreams. That is dreaming state. And Thoriyam. This is fourth state, the final state.
Good. Yeah.
Thoriya.
Yeah.
So
It's been a while since I've been in the whole language of it. I've got pretty far away from it. It's nice to hear all of it again. Because my study was like originally in this, all of this. So we have a lot of that in common. Like
like,
the
what
things you're saying.
did you study? Like in clinical psychology, you study all this?
No, when I studied yoga, yeah, yoga and Ayurveda.
Mhm.
The teacher I had was very interested in the philosophy and understanding how the universe works and understanding the whole system of it from, you know, Purusha to Prakriti, essentially, or like, you know, all to the all to the distinct point back to the all. It was always his like way of describing every single thing.
Yeah, see that is how it works actually. Like once you are in the fourth dimension, actually you could actually see the previous birth. So
Mm.
shall we go to your chart?
Sure. Yeah. I'm excited. I had my chart read a long time ago, like 15 years.
Your birth chart.
Yeah.
So I'm just pulling out your chart actually. Like you got your chart, right?
Yeah, I got it a while ago. Let me see if I'm not that good at reading the charts, so I just enjoy I sometimes enjoy connecting up, you know, what you're saying, what people are saying. Um, Mostly I have readings in Western astrology now, but I remember when I had the reading,
I send you
I
your chart,
was
right?
amazed. Yeah, you did. Yeah, I'm gonna pull it up. I was amazed when I got my first reading, like how to the T he was about the past.
Mm-hmm.
Like even just the past 2 years of my life kind of experience. And I don't think he was accurate about my future. I think at the time he was,
Mm-hmm.
but then I couldn't go back years later and say, all right, let me go by what he said anymore because it had all changed. I'd like to think I changed my uh maybe you can tell me what you think. Like I felt like he read the tendency of what it could have been at that
Mm-hmm.
time, but I had done so much healing work after that.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I understood how to change the energy of my actions and what I was creating. And I'm still working on it, of course, but like I felt like I feel like I understood it at some point, like, oh, I'm actually making everything change and I'm actually coming to more freedom. So I was looking back at those, you know, that reading and thinking, everything's different. Like nothing he said was what was my life anymore. So what do you think about that? But wouldn't that be written in my chart? Wouldn't that be already written?
See, the real purpose of the Vedic astrology is to take you to the real orgasmic experience,
Mm,
that
I
absolute
like
bliss.
that. Yeah.
The absolute
I
bliss.
don't think that he told me that.
See,
I maybe wasn't ready for it, or maybe I didn't. Yeah.
nobody can ask you, are you ready for an orgasm?
Oh yeah, they can. Yeah, I think you just did.
So it's beyond transcendental. Actually, it's taking beyond. So the yoga is the purpose. The actual purpose of the yoga is to take you beyond the all the physical thing and the real bliss, which is actually getting united with the self. The
Hmm.
or the atman or
Big
consciousness. Or
as self.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I just need to do something real quick and turn my hotspot on. to get my chart that you sent me. 1 second.
I will. I'm pulling a chart actually. Like,
Oh, great. Oh, that works too. Then we'll do
what was
that
that?
instead.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's even better. Yeah, because I don't think I can totally access it very quickly at the moment.
Yeah, it's okay. I can see.
Perfect. Oh,
So basically, um, see, there is yoga. Okay, each nakshatra, your nakshatra is Mrigashira. Okay, this looks like Mrigashira is the meaning in this is a Sanskrit term. If you translate it into English, it is like the head of a deer. Okay, so that is how the nakshatra will looks like. And the nakshatra is not there in Western astrology. The concept of nakshatra. Okay, the when you are getting birth, the ascendant will be in a particular position in your chart. In at that particular time, there will be a group of stars in the sky. So that is your nakshatra. So first thing we will analyze is your nakshatra. So your nakshatra is Mrigashira.
hmm.
And there is a yoga associated with each nakshatra. And yoga also there. After the yoga, there is a kriya. Kriya is the tantric process which helps you to evoke your kundalini, because the tantra works with the body. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
like don't work with the mind, because tantra has an understanding that the easily accessible thing for us is our body. Body is easily accessible for you. Your own body is easily accessible for you. You can touch it, you can feel it, you can work with it. So the tantric process, there is a kriya which is associated with that. So your bird, according to the Vedic astrology, is a peacock.
I love peacock.
So
Yeah.
it's like you like to bring beauty to the people's life. That is how the peacock, it's a symbol of love. Like when the earth is actually matured and it's ready to have fun with the rain. Okay, it's lover, it's they are actually creating a lot of love there. So that
Mm.
time peacock start to dance. So that is how that particular bird in manifest in your own life.
Mm.
You That is how the your nature will be like. You will manifest things.
Mm.
This is your tree. And what happens is like you have a soul. Everyone has a soul frequency. And when you go near to some kind of trees, you could actually easily connect with that particular tree. And your tree is this one, ebony akaya kacho Diphorium ihon. This is the tree. I don't know this thing is existing. This is what we say is karingali in India.
Ah, Karina. Oh, wow. That's really interesting.
So this is how your stars looks like in sky. And your nature is deva. Deva means it's uplifting nature actually. Like there is asura nature, human nature, and deva nature. So your nature is deva nature, which is an uplifting nature. But you have a tamasic nature, which is actually won't help you to achieve the greatest uh, orgasmic experience, like you will be having negative thoughts.
Yeah, I've had to work with a lot of those.
You don't have to write down everything. I'm recording this, I mean.
Oh, okay. All right, I'll put it down.
Yeah, I mean, this will actually, we are recording and I have already sent you the chart also, so it will be available in my YouTube channel. No worry.
Okay.
So this is tamasic nature. So the tamasic nature is like the problem with the tamasic nature is that they have the overthinking problem. And your Buddha is Earth. Earth is the Prithvi or the Earth. Okay. So what is that means is that you are more tolerant. You tolerate things. Let it happen.
Mm-hmm.
So you were neutral. You are neutral. Your soul don't have a division like mostly it will be like men, women, or the neutral. The soul. So the best soul is like neutral soul. So the soul is actually neutral. What happens is that the neutral soul is can achieve enlightenment. Like it's more evolved soul actually.
Mm.
So you have a pitta nature. How does it manifest? Is like um, it's like it's like you feel like you have taken some kind of seductive. Sometime you will go so very low.
Like a what?
Huh?
What it like I've taken what?
Seduction.
Seduction?
Yeah, seductives. Some seductive pills.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
You
that
you know
definitely
what I
helps.
mean? Like after you drink or what? Like you take alcohol sometime?
Never.
Any party or any experience of alcohol or
In
drugs
the
or whatever?
past.
Huh?
In the past.
Okay, in the
Doesn't
past,
feel
what
good.
happens? The after that particular day, you feel so low.
Yeah.
So that is how it's manifest, like pitta nature. Sometimes you will feel that so low without any medicine or any chemical.
Oh, right. Right.
So
Yeah.
soma is your god. Soma, na? It's the name of the god.
Yeah, a little bit.
Hmm?
I know a little bit.
It's a medicinal deity. Like what happens when the moon comes and the earth is there and it gives the light and it's like it's very transcendental.
Okay. So does that mean what does that mean for me? Like that's more like kind of my nature, or does that mean it will be healing for me or something?
You can bring that um, that kind of existence into reality.
Mm, mm,
You can actually make very cool vibrant setup.
that would be cool.
That is somatic therapy. They say it's like
Right.
so. So this is the kriya, and this is your sexual posture, which is associated with your chart.
Whoa. That's like that's like requiring a lot of acrobatics. I mean, I could do it, but it would be hard. That looks so hard.
But it is fun. But it will be fun.
Would it be like the most orgasmic for me?
Yeah.
Is that what it means? Really? You're kidding me. Why couldn't it be an easy one? Oh, you're killing me. That's so funny. That's like so like me too. It's like I want
See,
ease,
see,
but then at the same time, yeah.
it's a yoni actually, like serpent yoni. There is different 12 yonis are there according to Kama Sutra. Elephant, elephant, monkey, deer, like that. So from that, the mystical yoni is serpent yoni. So it's very playful. It's like snakes, no, like it's like makes like laugh, like many hours, like, and it
Yeah,
will
it's very
touch.
sensual,
Yeah, very
like
sensual.
windy.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll have to research that. I didn't know very much about it.
So your body has that ability, you know.
It does. It definitely does. That's real.
And they are very faithful also actually.
Hmm.
So this is all about your nakshatra. Now we will go to your chart.
That was so interesting. Can you send me that link too, or is that
Yeah, it's there in the chart basically.
okay? Wonderful.
So in your Rashi chart, in yourself, the moon along with Rahu is staying on your self house, the first house. So what does it mean? How does it manifest in your life? Is like your nature will be like more feminine and associated with the mystical experiences.
Mhm.
So the female deity is the the universe is actually female. Like the cover of my book, you can see this.
Yeah.
This is actually Kali Yandra.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Kali is the goddess.
Yeah.
So the universe is actually goddess. So it's a very dark energy, and you can easily get access to that.
Mm.
And the fifth house, the Saturn is staying. So what does it means is that hard working result, like the hardship will be the resultant, like you may get a son who is actually working very hard,
A
or
son,
a
like a
son.
child,
Yeah.
that works very hard.
Hmm? Do you have kids?
Not yet.
So if you are having, you will get a son which is who is actually working very hard.
Huh. That's so interesting.
Or the thing which will actually comes from you, like the creation you are bringing to the plane of the existence, is hard work.
From
And
myself.
huh?
Were you saying the plane of existence that I'm bringing in is hard work,
Yeah,
or my son?
this is how it will actually. Saturn is the planet which is associated with hard work, that is staying on your fifth house. Fifth house is related to the thing which you bring to the plane of existence. Either it will manifest in the way as a kid for many people. If peoples are not interested into marriage and things like that, what happens is that something which manifests in through them into the plane of existence has the quality of that particular planet. So the
Mm.
Saturn is associated with hard work, and the planet which will bring into the plane of existence is the hard work.
Hmm.
And
I think it's going to be my son.
what was that?
I think it's going to be my son. I'm done doing hard work. But I did a lot of hard work already.
So that
So yeah,
maybe
yeah. It's true. I mean, I did a lot of hard work to get to where I am, and then I began to work easier. So that does resonate there. Maybe it has its iteration in a son.
see, like Jupiter is on the sixth house. Jupiter is the planet of wisdom. Okay. So what happens? The wisdom you are giving out maybe work against you if you are not watching what you are giving out. Like, the wisdom you are carrying, if you are not giving it properly, like in Bible there is a word like don't throw away your pearls to pigs.
To pigs.
Bible it
Like,
is saying in Bible, you know
yeah, right.
so
Like
similar
it has.
way, if you are not watching out the wisdom you are carrying, it may manifest against you. That is why the
Oh,
sister of the Jupiter is staying.
yeah. I experienced that definitely. I have to keep up energetically with what's coming, like what's coming through me, what I'm receiving, what I'm connected to, what I'm
So
aware of.
that
And
has
if
to be,
I
you
don't,
have to be watchful to whom it has to given.
like, discern where it needs
Yeah,
to go or
because the mostly the people's in the the spiritual path, there might be a lot of distraction. There are many people's come and suck a lot of energy out of you for no reason.
yeah.
you
Yeah,
know
it's true. Yes. Yeah.
and the seventh house Ketu is staying. So it's obsession. You are very obsessed with the relationship.
Yeah. I am.
Then karma Fava, Sun, Mercury, and Mars is staying. So Sun is the planet of the self, father, things like that. Mercury is the planet which is associated with the words. Mars is the planet that is associated with the war.
With
Okay,
war.
with the war fight.
Yeah.
So
Fight.
in karma bhava, your karma, how does the planet will manifest is like Sun, Mercury, and Mars staying together, which means that the Mercury. You you are you speak the truth out in order to showcase yourself, in order to prove yourself, because you are right that it's not wrong that you are trying to prove yourself. You know that you are right, that's why you try to prove yourself. Okay, that is your karma. You have to go for that, like you have to do that. You don't have
Oh,
to be get back from that, like it give you better result.
if you just go with it.
Yeah.
If I go with it, I have to do it. Okay. That's interesting to hear it like that. Yeah.
It's nothing negative in that. It is in your karma bhava. So if you do that, it will give you better result. It may sounds stupid for little small amount of time, but in
Mm.
long run, it will give you better result.
Mm.
In Labha Bhava, Venus is staying. Venus is the planet of the materialistic pleasure. Okay, so the Venus will give you the comfort and the pleasures which you need for your body.
Mm. And
So
what's
that is Labha.
labha?
Labha means
The body is labha?
no.
Oh,
Labha is the outcome.
oh, okay. Yeah,
Profit.
I see. Yeah. That feels like it fits a lot with Venus for me. Yeah.
Yeah, it will be giving you. You don't have to worry. So we have
That's
gone
nice.
through your nakshatra. What was that?
That's nice. I don't have to worry.
So you have a sun. Go. The sun is your strongest planet, and it has single phase. And if you wear the single phase Rudraksha, this will accelerate your energy.
Cool. Yeah, I'd like to see that.
So 37. What's your age now? 38, 6 months when I
38. Yeah, March. So March, April, May, June. 38, 8 months.
8 months, correct?
Almost 8 months. About 7 months and 20 some days, maybe.
So Saturn is the right now the planet on you. Like the Saturn is on fifth house. So so 38. Probably this is the time you can get pregnant and like fifth house it is staying.
Yeah. That's very in my awareness right now.
Hmm?
Even my naturopath was like, she was doing a biofeedback testing and she was like, I got that you need to be on the pregnancy protocol for your body. Your body's trying to get ready. And I was like, I know.
So that is what now the 3 years, and it is very hard time actually. Like some many problems happens, like
In this time
then
right now.
yeah, the money problem and things like that might happen during this time.
Mm.
That will last like 37, 37, 38, 39, somewhere around 40.
Oh, that's not long. That's like a year.
Yeah, already there. Like
Yeah,
so
no problem.
the hardest part in your life is actually passing through up to 40, 41, like 40.5.
Oh,
It will be like that.
thank goodness. For everything or for money?
Everything, the hardest part.
Yeah, I feel that.
So then it is fine.
Mm, that's
Mhm.
nice.
Yeah, we are kind of gone through all your chart.
Wow. I like that a lot. Thank you.
So
I really like the beginning where you went through like the different nature and different aspects.
and
Like
the sexual posture.
yeah, that was I didn't know that was coming in your like, whoa, what? We were talking about this, aren't we? I mean, yeah, that's so interesting. Do you get charts where it's like just a totally different kind of position? Like just
Yeah.
more simple? Because that's like, to me, that looks very complex.
See, if you do yoga, you can actually achieve those positions. Basically,
I'll
like
work on it.
there is a temple in India that is called Khajuraho Temple. Okay, if you go there, the entire wall is actually like a Bible of Kama Sutra, like different positions. Like if you go there, like none of the pornography movies also can make that kind of things.
Right. Oh, wow. Yeah. There's just so many iterations, it sounds like.
Yeah. So I have another podcast also with the different positions that I'll send you.
Oh, yeah. Great. That'll be fun. I can see you have fun with this. What got you into doing this?
Like what?
What got you into doing Jyotish?
Astrology?
Yeah, yeah.
Like it's my family tradition, like my ancestral
Oh,
knowledge.
okay. Yeah, that's wonderful.
So I'm
Yeah.
just making it more better, like writing a book, doing podcast.
That's your book?
Yeah, I wrote this book.
I didn't realize that. I'm sorry. Wow, that's cool. All right, I will need to get your book because I'm so curious what you're writing about and
It's
what you're
it's a,
sharing.
it's in Amazon.
Okay, that's exciting. Yeah, I can see you're enriching it. I feel it's getting more refined and distinct.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. I
You,
really enjoyed it.
the people who are actually listening to this, do you want to say something to them? Like,
Oh, well, thanks for listening and joining in. And what's coming is just a sweetness and like a yummy feeling, like sweetness kind of like directed towards, every moment is a chance to just
just to
love
be me,
yourself.
just to be
Yeah,
me.
yeah, just to be yourself simply, and
Mhm.
to like be in the moment and be in the unique expression that's you, and how it's coming through. And more, that's just what it feels like to me, like this moment, this moment, this moment.
And if they want to connect with you, like how they can contact you?
Oh, you can go to my website at candicewu.com, and that's Candice with an I, CANDICEWU.com. And also on there is my podcast, the Embody Podcast. There's a lot of resources there, and meditations and healing experiences there. So if they want to plug into that, or can find me and email me or message me in any way, I would love to hear from people.
And you do any kind of online programs for them?
So right now, mostly I'm doing individual sessions online, or couples or people in relationships. I work with polyamorous and ethically non-monogamous relationships. So I'm doing sessions online, but also if they want to meet in person, I've been doing mini retreats and meeting people on location. Hopefully soon I have my house set up. I'm in the process of buying a house. So, yeah, maybe that's a place someone can visit as well. But other than the individual sessions, I don't have anything set up right now, but only by request. If there's something that somebody wants, or a small group they want to put together, have me speak. I'm totally open to whatever it inspires people to reach out.
Yeah, thank you for joining me. Thank you for listening to my podcast. You could connect with me in arunsyoga.in, where you could see my contact details, including my phone number, my WhatsApp, and email ID. Stay tuned for more exciting episodes.